I've been doing instructional technology along the lines of thinking about new environments for teaching and learning for the last 12 years. Not that long. I've been teaching in higher ed for 20 years. One of the things that struck me with the emergence of new technologies like the blog, wikis, is the ability for a student or a faculty member to define themselves through the work they were doing, the reflective practice of talking about what they were learning and how they were learning it openly, and writing about that and then connecting with the community. And then through that community you would have a network. And for me, the thing that struck, and this is because personal experience, I'd been blogging since I started in 2005 for 12 years. And out of that work of documenting my thinking and the work I've been doing, I built a network of people that always was the bottom line. How people found the work I did, how people judged the work I did, was basically my credential. I dropped out of my PhD. I never got a doctorate. But regularly writing and thinking and interacting with people in a community for 12 years was in many ways a credential. So my online presence, my digital identity, my open thinking became my certificate. And it was kind of both a mashup of an apprenticeship and also a self-guided learning adventure, however you want to call that, that for me became, and the work I do is always focused around your digital identity, the question of who you are online and who you connect with and how you think, and both the limits and possibilities of that. I don't think it's the only way. But I think for me, that was a really powerful thing. So when I teach students or we do classes, what we ask them to do is get a space, build an identity, and explore who you are and your interests with people around the web. And build that. Don't sit here and write a paper. Don't sit here and talk to me about a textbook. Be and inhabit the web that you want to see and that you want to be a part of. And when someone looks for you, what they see is they see a reflection of you as a thinker and a professional, and as someone who has constantly thought through there. And so for many, many years, that was my push as an instructional technologist, to have students openly narrate their thinking and learning online, as both individuals and as a community. So for me, that was the credential. The credential was the Google search. The credential was what people found when they looked for you. The credential was what they read when they read you, what you wrote. And that went beyond the degree. Degree helps, and I understand the certification is powerful and important, but I think beyond the degree, which, let's face it, there are degree farms, anyone can get a degree, who are you? And it's very easy for people to begin that search. So what do they find? And how much of that are you curating, and how much of that is being curated for you by some other third party? And so that brings us into questions of data. That brings us into questions of identity and who controls what and why. And some of that kind of rethinking of the undergirding of what the web is and how it helps define us for good and for bad. And I love those conversations because those get us to the kind of meat of the web isn't just a resource, right? The web is constitutive. It's creating us as much as we're creating it. And that relationship, that kind of strange space between, is what we as higher ed academics, thinkers, researchers, you name it,